specific action to drop plans? And can you elaborate again? You didn't rule out military coercion.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time.
This is an unhinged statement, okay? I don't understand. Hold on. There's not some dumb I'm missing. Let me just, I should not look this up on stream in case I'm, okay, yes. Denmark is part of, Denmark is part of our alliance, okay? Like literally an allied country, like in the truest, realist, not like Israel's our allied country, but like they're literally a country that is in a military alliance with us. And I'm pretty sure Greenland is owned by Denmark. Dog, what are you doing? What are we, why are we talking about invading our allies? What the f are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? I hate how Donald Trump also can say like the most, people will always just say like, oh, no. He's just saying that like as a basis for negotiations. Like I can say like, I'm going to slit children's throats and rape your wife. And he's like, bro, that's unhinged. And you're like, I'm not really going to do that. I'm just like, this is just like for negotiating. Okay. I just say the most unhinged thing possible with no intention of ever doing that, but it's just to negotiate.
Long before I even ran, I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 40.
Who's been talking? Wait, for taking over Greenland?
Can you elaborate again? You didn't rule out military coercion.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time.
When? Who? Where? What? Why? And how? What? I'm not making this up in risk, and that Greenland is that it is the big thing, right? I don't even know what the countries or the things were on this. Now I guess now that I know all the countries, did they just like make shit up on this? Hold on. What is this risk map? Wait a second. How much of our world leaders just making military decisions based on the risk map? Wait, what is happening right now? Why is it Northern Europe, Southern Europe, Western Europe? I bet risk was made by an Eastern European. And he's like, nobody likes Eastern Europe. Just call it all Ukraine. Oh, it was made by a Western European.
You have approximately, I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to
it. If you speak it enough into existence, hey, maybe not.
But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for
what the? This is my leader, the United States president. Hello? What are we doing right now? Please stop talking. Can somebody take the mic from this guy? Vance, where's the 25th?
For the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You look at, you don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level. No, we're not at that stage, but we have people, I haven't even entered office yet.
Sir, Elon Musk has lost some criticism and a lot of attention for some of his actions and provocative statements about foreign affairs, including in Europe. Your reaction to that, is that appropriate for
you? Mean where he likes people that tended to be conservative? I don't know the people. I can say Elon's doing a good job, very smart guy. I don't know the people you're talking about. He was, I know he said some negative things about a couple of people that are running for office, but that's not so unusual. Yes, please.
So what would we gain if we theoretically acquired Greenland? Well, we're going to get to that in just a minute. But before we do, look, Jake, I personally don't think that Trump is really going to use our military. Like, we're not going to use military force to take over Greenland. That would be insane. And that would, I mean, it would just not be a good idea, in my opinion. But this is what Trump does. He doesn't want to rule out any options. And so when he says economic pressure, I'm not entirely sure what he means by that either. But what are your thoughts about what he's saying here?
Yeah. I don't understand why Trump is allowed. Well, let me stop saying I don't understand. It's not okay for somebody to be allowed to say or do anything because this is part of the lack of accountability measures. It can't be the case that somebody just can say or do whatever they want. And then it doesn't matter because it was a meme or it was a whatever. Like that can't be the case. The world doesn't function that way for a few reasons. Either one, the person's words become meaningless because now they're just saying shit. This is one of the big deals of the red line with Obama, right? That there was a red line. I don't even remember what the red line was for. It was for Syrian chemical weapons attacks, right? And then it happened and he didn't do fuck all about it. And it seriously undermines like U.S. foreign policy. It undermines Obama. It undermines everything. You can't just say random shit all the time. Like, oh, you know, it's just a tactic. What is the tactic? It is a tactic, but it's not a negotiating tactic. It's a tactic to avoid accountability. That's not good.
So, first of all, obviously, invading Greenland would be mental. And so there's a couple of different reasons why Trump is saying this. Number one, he loves bluster. He loves it for the sake of bluster, but he also likes it as a negotiating tactic. So
There are allies. There are allies. This doesn't make any sense. You don't do this. I don't understand. If Lena was here and I was like, I really want to go out to eat at Applebee's tonight. And she was like, I'm not in the mood. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to throw honey out the window. I'm not actually going to do that. That's just a negotiating tactic. Why would I negotiate like that? Why would you do that? Why would you say that? That you can't just like explain using descriptive language and we all just like pretend it's a normal or okay thing. That doesn't make any sense. That's just not an okay thing. Yesterday, I had to replace the brake pads on my Focus, and they told me I needed new rotors too. And I said I wanted the rotors, but I didn't want to pay extra for it. And when they said, well, I mean, we have to charge you, obviously. I broke out my Glock, and I said that if they didn't do it for free, I was going to kill him and his entire family. But it was just a negotiating tactic.
he'll keep everything on the table. He'll threaten X, Y, and Z, and then try to make a deal. Now, he's almost always bluffing. So at some
another issue with this as well, and we can draw historical parallels here, is there's a word for this. There's a word for this. I don't know if it's an official foreign policy word, but I've seen it written. There's a word for this. And the word is brinksmanship, where arguably, without getting all into the history, Israel started off the Six-Day War on June 4th, 5th of 1967 with a surprise attack against Egypt. And a lot of that was probably driven on by the Egyptian leader's rhetoric about destroying Israel. Now, did he really feel like he could destroy Israel? No, he couldn't, because he just exhausted his entire army fighting some war in Yemen, okay, 60 years ago. Some things never change. But he told his people that he would f them up. And the reason why you say these things is because it appeases your population and it allows you to kind of get credit for an action that you're not willing to take. But that's a form of brinksmanship, because the problem with it is nobody knows when you're being serious or not. Nobody knows when you're actually about to do a thing. And so some people might act like they think that there's a higher probability of you doing the thing than there actually is. And that's a problem. And now you've got it to where Trump might say some outlandish say about like the United Kingdom, and then all of a sudden the UK is like, we just joined BRICS. And it's like, oh, that's not good. Wait a second. And you can't walk back. You can't, the whole point of brinksmanship is you can't go back from it. You need to have some huge resetting event. Yeah, this is just not good. Police use the threat of force. What's the difference? You expect the police to follow through with the force every time. The police are not using force to negotiate with you. They're using that, well, they kind of are, but you know the force is coming. That's not, the police aren't playing brinksmanship with you. The police are going to shoot and kill you if you don't follow their orders, ultimately.
he'll threaten X, Y, and Z, and then try to make a deal. Now, he's almost always bluffing. So at some point, the world's going to figure that out. And then I'm a little afraid what happens when one of his bluffs get called. But this is not a serious one. So like,
oh, no. So he even knows, he said it in fewer words, but that's essentially what I'm saying. Yeah, that's not good.
figure that out. And then I'm a little afraid what happens when one of his bluffs get called. But this is not a serious one. So like, if your bluff gets called on Iran and you threaten to nuke them and then you nuke them, oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrific, right?
It's also horrific if you don't nuke them. That's the problem with bluffing, is if you follow through with a crazy bluff, now you're insane and everybody looks like you're at you like you're an insane person. But if you don't follow through on it, now you have no credibility. It's not good.
But on Greenland, we're not going to invade them. That's mental. But look, have we bought territory before? Yeah, of course. We bought Alaska. We had Louisiana Purchase. Those are a different time, obviously. And the leader of Greenland has said many times that he's not interested in getting taken over by America.
I don't even know why you would make that comparison ever. I don't understand why you would do that. Like, imagine if behind me I had Abba and Preach chained up in my kitchen to, cook food for me. And people are like, what's going on? It's like, I don't know. We've had slavery before and stuff. And yeah, it was a different time. But like, why would you even, like, what is the thought process in your mind to chain these words together that...
Different time, obviously. Have we bought territory before? Yeah, of course. We bought Alaska. We had Louisiana Purchase.
Like, why would you... Like, what would even be the thought process to connect these ideas in your mind? The Louisiana Purchase with the 2024 purchase of Greenland? This is just an unbelievable... I don't understand what in your mind is even causing you to connect these things together, other than some incredibly superficial similarities.
Those are a different time, obviously. And the leader of Greenland has said many times that he's not interested in getting taken over by America. But like, I don't mind that stuff. I don't mind him saying that he's going to, we could buy Greenland and then try to do whatever he's going to try to do. And there must be enormous natural resources there.
There are.
And his donors must be pushing him to buy.
The donors, again, how long would it even be before extracting those resources would be probable, if that even was the case? If they're even in an area where it's easy to extract, and if we, like... Question, do you have any advice for how to deal with friends who have drank the Kool-Aid? I'm finding it impossible to have conversations with close friends who are thoroughly brainwashed. I don't know, my friend. Good luck.
Buy it.
They are.
Yeah, and so that's why he's doing it, because he didn't, like, on the campaign trail, he promised anti-war, he promised immigration, he promised, some things on crime, and certainly the economy. Did he promise buying or invading Greenland? No, he's doing a lot of things in the beginning that he didn't promise at all to his voters. It's things he promised to his donors. Last thing on it, Anna, is that generally speaking, it's a little jingoistic, and his base does love that. So it's not like he's going to get hurt by this. They're going to generally enjoy this kind of bluster. So that's another reason why there's not much downside from his point of view in doing.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.